Have you ever pondered the profound impact a simple shift in perspective could have on your life? Today, we're delving into a concept that might seem counterintuitive at first glance, but holds the potential to revolutionize your entire existence. I'm talking about the philosophy of suffer today, smile tomorrow. Let me begin by sharing a personal anecdote. Fresh out of college, I harbored dreams of becoming a successful entrepreneur. I envisioned a life of luxury, financial freedom, and the ability to make a real difference in the world. However, I was woefully unprepared for the realities of the business world. Broke, inexperienced, and naive, I had no idea how to bridge the gap between my dreams and my current circumstances. One fateful day, I stumbled upon a quote that would alter the course of my life: "The pain you feel today will be the strength you feel tomorrow." Initially, I dismissed it as just another cliché motivational phrase. But as I faced rejection after rejection, setback after setback, those words began to take on a new meaning. I realized that success wasn't handed to anyone on a silver platter. It was earned through blood, sweat, and tears. This epiphany led me to make a conscious decision to embrace the struggle, to welcome challenges, and to view each obstacle as an opportunity for growth. For months, I worked tirelessly, often sleeping just a few hours a night. I took on odd jobs to fund my startup, sacrificing my social life and personal comfort. There were moments when I questioned my sanity, wondering if all this suffering was worth it. But I held on to that vision of a brighter tomorrow, and it gave me the strength to persevere. And you know what? It paid off. Today, I stand before you as the CEO of a successful company, employing hundreds of people and making a positive impact on countless lives. But more importantly, I stand before you as a person who has been forged in the fires of adversity, equipped with resilience, wisdom, and an unshakable belief in the power of perseverance. This, my dear viewers, is the essence of suffer today, smile tomorrow. It's not about seeking out pain for the sake of pain. It's about understanding that true growth, lasting success, and genuine happiness often require us to step out of our comfort zones and embrace temporary discomfort. Think about it. Every great achievement in history has come at a cost. The Wright brothers didn't create the first successful airplane by sitting on their couch and dreaming. They endured countless failures, injuries, and setbacks before finally taking to the skies. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't change the course of civil rights by avoiding conflict. He faced violence, imprisonment, and constant threats to his life in pursuit of equality and justice. These examples might seem extreme, but they illustrate a fundamental truth: greatness is born from struggle. And the good news is, you don't have to change the world to benefit from this principle. It applies to every aspect of our lives, from our careers to our relationships, from our health to our personal growth. Let's break this down into practical terms. Imagine you're out of shape and want to get fit. You have two choices. You can continue your current lifestyle, enjoying comfort foods and sedentary habits, or you can choose to suffer through grueling workouts and disciplined eating. The first option feels good in the moment but leads to long-term dissatisfaction and health issues. The second option is painful and challenging but results in improved health, increased energy, and a sense of accomplishment that far outweighs the temporary discomfort. The same principle applies to our professional lives. You can coast along in a job that doesn't challenge you, collecting a paycheck and avoiding stress, or you can push yourself to learn new skills, take on difficult projects, and step into leadership roles. The first path might seem easier, but it often leads to stagnation and unfulfillment. The second path, while more demanding, opens doors to new opportunities, higher earnings, and a sense of purpose that makes the journey worthwhile. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not advocating for a life of constant misery. The key is to find the right balance, to choose your battles wisely, and to understand that temporary discomfort is a small price to pay for long-term fulfillment. So, how do we put this principle into practice? How do we cultivate the mindset that allows us to embrace challenges and push through difficult times? Let me share with you some strategies that have worked for me and countless others who have adopted this philosophy. First and foremost, we need to reframe our relationship with discomfort. Instead of viewing it as something to be avoided at all costs, we need to see it as a signal of growth. When you feel that resistance, that voice in your head telling you to give up, recognize it for what it is, a sign that you are pushing your boundaries and expanding your capabilities. Next, we need to set clear, compelling goals. When you have a vivid vision of what you're working towards, it becomes much easier to endure short-term pain. Write down your goals, visualize them daily, and remind yourself why they're important to you. This will serve as your North Star when times get tough. Another crucial aspect is developing a growth mindset. This concept, popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck, emphasizes the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. When you embrace a growth mindset, setbacks become learning opportunities, criticism becomes valuable feedback, and challenges become chances to improve. It's also important to build a support system. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who understand and encourage your journey can make all the difference. Share your goals with trusted companions and family, join communities of people with similar aspirations, and don't be afraid to seek mentorship from those who have walked the path before you. Equally important is the practice of self-care and self-compassion. Embracing struggle doesn't mean neglecting your physical and mental well-being. Make sure to get enough rest, eat nutritious food, and engage in activities that recharge your batteries. And when you face setbacks or make mistakes, treat yourself with kindness. Remember, the path to success is rarely a straight line. Now, let's delve deeper into some specific areas of life where the principle of suffer today, smile tomorrow can be particularly transformative. In the realm of education and skill development, this philosophy is paramount. Think about learning a new language. The initial stages are often frustrating and uncomfortable. You struggle with pronunciation, grapple with unfamiliar grammar rules, and feel like a child trying to express complex thoughts with a limited vocabulary. But if you persist through this discomfort, if you embrace the awkwardness of making mistakes and the humility of not understanding everything, you eventually reach a point where you can converse fluently, opening up a whole new world of connections and opportunities. The same goes for acquiring any new skill, whether it's coding, public speaking, or playing a musical instrument. The beginning is always the hardest part. You're clumsy, you make mistakes, and progress seems painfully slow. But each moment of struggle is building neural pathways in your brain, strengthening your abilities bit by bit. And one day, almost without realizing it, you find yourself performing with ease and confidence. In the world of entrepreneurship and innovation, the suffer today, smile tomorrow mindset is not just beneficial, it's essential. Every successful business you see today is built on a foundation of countless failures, sleepless nights, and moments of doubt. Elon Musk, now known for revolutionizing electric cars and space travel, nearly went bankrupt multiple times in the early days of Tesla and SpaceX. But he persevered through those difficult times, driven by a vision of a better future. When you're building something new, whether it's a startup, a novel product, or a groundbreaking idea, you're going to face resistance. People will doubt you, resources will be scarce, and there will be times when giving up seems like the most logical option. But it's precisely in these moments that the seeds of greatness are sown. By pushing through the discomfort, by refusing to let temporary setbacks deter you from your ultimate goal, you develop the resilience and problem-solving skills that are crucial for long-term success. Let's turn our attention to personal relationships, an area where the concept of short-term sacrifice for long-term gain is often overlooked. Building strong, lasting relationships, whether romantic, familial, or friendships, requires effort and sometimes discomfort. It means having difficult conversations instead of sweeping issues under the rug. It means setting boundaries and risking temporary discord for the sake of long-term harmony. It means showing up for people even when it's inconvenient and being vulnerable even when it's scary. I remember a time when I had to have a brutally honest conversation with a close companion about their self-destructive behavior. It was one of the most uncomfortable experiences of my life. I knew I risked damaging or even losing the friendship, but I also knew that staying silent out of fear would be a disservice to both of us. So I pushed through the discomfort, had the conversation, and while it was initially met with anger and denial, it ultimately led to a turning point in my companion's life and deepened our friendship in ways I couldn't have imagined. This principle extends to parenting as well. It's often easier in the moment to give in to a child's demands, to avoid setting firm boundaries, or to shield them from every disappointment. But effective parenting often requires us to endure the short-term pain of tantrums, arguments, and seeing our children struggle, knowing that these experiences are crucial for their growth and development. In the realm of personal finance, the suffer today, smile tomorrow philosophy is particularly relevant. It's always tempting to splurge on immediate pleasures, the latest gadget, a fancy meal, or an expensive vacation. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with enjoying life's luxuries, true financial freedom often requires short-term sacrifices. I'm reminded of a young couple I mentored a few years ago. They were drowning in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, and feeling increasingly hopeless about their financial future. We sat down together and crafted a plan that required significant lifestyle changes. They moved to a smaller apartment, sold one of their cars, cut out most discretionary spending, and picked up side gigs to increase their income. It was a difficult period, full of temptations and moments of doubt. But they stuck to their plan. 3 years later, they were debt-free, had a substantial emergency fund, and were well on their way to saving for a down payment on their dream home. The temporary discomfort of living below their means and working extra hours had paved the way for long-term financial security and peace of mind. This principle applies equally to investing. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time, is famous for his long-term approach. While others chase quick gains and react to every market fluctuation, Buffett understands that true wealth is built through patience and discipline. It means resisting the urge to splurge on profits and instead reinvesting for future growth. It means staying calm and even buying more when the market dips, rather than panic selling. This approach can be psychologically challenging, especially during market downturns, but it has consistently proven to be the path to long-term financial success. Now, let's talk about health and fitness, an area where the tension between short-term comfort and long-term benefits is particularly acute. We all know the importance of exercise and healthy eating, yet so many of us struggle to maintain these habits. Why? Because in the moment, it's more comfortable to sit on the couch than to go for a run. It's more satisfying to eat a burger and fries than a salad. But those who achieve and maintain good health understand that temporary discomfort is a small price to pay for long-term vitality. I'm reminded of a colleague who decided to train for a marathon. She had never run more than a few miles at a time, and the prospect of running 26.2 miles seemed almost laughable. At first, the training was grueling. She had to wake up at 5 a.m. for long runs, push through pain and exhaustion, and sacrifice many social engagements. There were days when every fiber of her being wanted to quit. But she persevered. On the day of the marathon, as she crossed the finish line, the sense of accomplishment she felt was indescribable. But more than that, the discipline and mental toughness she developed during those months of training spilled over into every other area of her life. She became more focused at work, more resilient in the face of challenges, and more confident in her ability to achieve difficult goals. This brings us to an important point: the benefits of embracing short-term discomfort often extend far beyond the specific goal we're pursuing. When we consistently choose to do what's difficult but right, rather than what's easy but unfulfilling, we're not just achieving individual objectives. We're building character. Think about it. Every time you push through fatigue to finish a workout, you're not just burning calories. You're strengthening your willpower. Every time you choose to save money instead of splurging, you're not just improving your bank balance. You're developing discipline. Every time you have a difficult conversation instead of avoiding conflict, you're not just addressing a specific issue. You're becoming more courageous. These character traits, willpower, discipline, courage, are like muscles. The more we exercise them, the stronger they become. And just like physical strength, they serve us in countless ways, often in situations we couldn't have anticipated. Now, I want to address a common misconception about the suffer today, smile tomorrow philosophy. Some people hear this and think it means living a joyless life of constant struggle, always deferring happiness to some future date. That's not what we're advocating for at all. The key is to find joy in the process, to learn to appreciate the journey as much as the destination. It's about understanding that the satisfaction of overcoming a challenge, of pushing past your perceived limits, can be far more fulfilling than the fleeting pleasure of taking the easy route. Think of it like climbing a mountain. The ascent is difficult, sometimes painful. Your muscles ache, your lungs burn, and there are moments when you wonder why you ever thought this was a good idea. But there's also an exhilaration in the climb. There's the stunning view as you gain elevation, the camaraderie with fellow climbers, the sense of accomplishment with each milestone you reach. And when you finally make it to the summit, the joy you feel isn't just about the view. It's about the journey that brought you there. This mindset shift from seeing struggle as something to be avoided to recognizing it as an integral part of growth and achievement is transformative. It allows us to approach challenges with enthusiasm rather than dread. It helps us persevere when things get tough, knowing that the difficulty itself is a sign of progress. Let me share another personal anecdote that illustrates this point. A few years ago, I decided to write a book. I had always dreamed of being an author, but the prospect of actually sitting down and writing hundreds of pages was daunting. The first few weeks were exciting as I outlined my ideas and wrote the opening chapters. But then came the hard part, the daily grind of writing, rewriting, and battling self-doubt. There were days when the words wouldn't come, when I questioned whether I had anything worthwhile to say. The temptation to give up was strong. But I had committed to this project, and I knew that pushing through these difficult moments was part of the process. So I developed rituals to make the struggle more manageable. I set up a dedicated writing space. I woke up an hour earlier each day to write before the demands of work and family took over. I joined a writers group for support and accountability. Slowly but surely, the pages began to accumulate. And here's the interesting part, as I pushed through the difficult days, I began to find joy in the struggle itself. The satisfaction of crafting a well-turned phrase, the excitement of a new idea taking shape, the sense of progress as the manuscript grew, these became rewards in themselves. By the time I finished the book, the process had changed me. I was more disciplined, more resilient, and more confident in my ability to tackle big projects. This experience taught me a valuable lesson. The path of growth and achievement is not about avoiding discomfort, but about changing our relationship with it. It's about learning to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities. Now, I want to address another crucial aspect of the suffer today, smile tomorrow philosophy, the importance of choosing the right kind of suffering. Not all discomfort is created equal, and it's essential to distinguish between productive struggle and needless pain. Productive struggle is discomfort that leads to growth, achievement, and long-term happiness. It's the soreness you feel after a good workout, the mental strain of learning a new skill, the emotional vulnerability of deepening a relationship. This kind of suffering is an investment in your future self. Needless pain, on the other hand, is suffering that doesn't serve a greater purpose. It's staying in a toxic relationship out of fear of being alone, working a soul-crushing job solely for the paycheck, or engaging in self-destructive behaviors to numb emotional pain. This kind of suffering doesn't lead to growth, it keeps us stuck. The wisdom lies in knowing the difference and having the courage to embrace productive struggle while avoiding or eliminating needless pain. This often requires honest self-reflection and sometimes the guidance of mentors or professionals who can offer an outside perspective. Let's explore this concept further with some practical examples. In the professional world, taking on a challenging project that stretches your abilities is productive struggle. It might involve long hours and stress, but it leads to skill development and career advancement. On the other hand, enduring a toxic work environment that undermines your confidence and well-being is needless pain. The solution here isn't to tough it out, but to look for a healthier work situation. In personal development, pushing yourself to overcome social anxiety by gradually exposing yourself to social situations is productive struggle. It's uncomfortable, but it leads to increased confidence and a richer social life. Forcing yourself into overwhelming social situations that leave you traumatized, however, is needless pain that can set back your progress. In relationships, having difficult but necessary conversations to address issues and strengthen your connection is productive struggle. Staying in a relationship where you're consistently disrespected or your needs are ignored is needless pain. The ability to distinguish between these two types of discomfort and act accordingly is a crucial life skill. It requires self-awareness, courage, and often the willingness to make tough decisions. But it's essential for ensuring that our suffering today truly leads to smiling tomorrow. This brings us to another important point: the role of rest and recovery in the suffer today, smile tomorrow philosophy. Just as an athlete needs rest days to allow their muscles to recover and grow stronger, we need periods of rest and rejuvenation in our journey of personal growth. Constant, unrelenting struggle without time for recovery is not sustainable and can lead to burnout. The key is to find the right rhythm of challenge and rest, push and recovery. This balance looks different for everyone and can vary depending on the nature of your goals and your personal capacity. For some, it might mean intense work weeks followed by restful weekends. For others, it could be a daily rhythm of focused work interspersed with breaks for relaxation and self-care. The important thing is to listen to your body and mind, to recognize when you need to push and when you need to rest. In this context, rest doesn't necessarily mean inactivity. It can be engaging in hobbies that bring you joy, spending time in nature, practicing meditation or mindfulness, or simply enjoying the company of loved ones. These activities are not just about relaxation, they're about recharging your batteries, gaining new perspectives, and reminding yourself of the reasons behind your struggles. Remember, the goal of Suffer Today, Smile Tomorrow is not to live a life of constant hardship. It's to strategically embrace challenges that lead to growth and fulfillment while also cultivating joy and satisfaction along the way. It's about delayed gratification, not denied gratification. As we near the conclusion of our exploration of this powerful philosophy, I want to emphasize a crucial point: the importance of celebrating your victories, both big and small. While the focus of Suffer Today, Smile Tomorrow is on embracing challenges for future rewards, it's equally important to acknowledge and appreciate the progress you're making along the way. Too often, we're so focused on the next goal that we forget to celebrate how far we've come. But these celebrations serve an important purpose. They provide positive reinforcement, boost our motivation, and remind us why we're putting in the hard work in the first place. These celebrations don't have to be grand gestures. It could be as simple as taking a moment to reflect on your progress, sharing your achievement with a friend, or treating yourself to something you enjoy. The key is to cultivate an attitude of gratitude and self-appreciation for the efforts you're making. For instance, if you're working on fitness goals, don't wait until you've reached your ideal weight or run a marathon to feel proud of yourself. Celebrate the first time you run a mile without stopping, or when you choose a healthy meal over fast food. If you're building a business, celebrate your first sale, your first positive customer review, or the day you break even. These milestones matter, and acknowledging them helps to sustain your motivation for the long haul. Moreover, celebrating your progress helps to shift your focus from the discomfort of the moment to the positive changes you're making. It reinforces the connection between your current efforts and your future success, making it easier to persist when things get tough. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a challenge. Over the next week, I want you to intentionally embrace one difficult but worthwhile task each day. It could be waking up an hour earlier to work on a personal project, having a conversation you've been avoiding, or pushing yourself a little harder in your workout. As you do this, pay attention to how it feels, not just the discomfort, but also the sense of accomplishment, the growth you're experiencing. At the end of the week, take some time to reflect. How did it feel to consistently choose the harder but more rewarding path? What did you learn about yourself? How has this experience changed your perspective on struggle and growth? Remember, the philosophy of Suffer Today, Smile Tomorrow is not about seeking out pain or denying yourself happiness. It's about understanding that meaningful achievement and personal growth often require us to step out of our comfort zones. It's about having the courage to face challenges head-on, knowing that each obstacle overcome is a step towards a brighter future. As you leave here today, I hope you carry with you not just the concept, but the conviction that you have within you the strength to endure temporary discomfort for lasting fulfillment. I hope you approach challenges not with dread, but with anticipation of the growth they'll bring. And I hope that when you face difficult moments, you'll remind yourself, I'm suffering today so I can smile tomorrow. The path won't always be easy. There will be days when you question whether it's worth it, when the future payoff seems too distant or uncertain. In those moments, remember why you started. Remember the vision of your future self that inspired you to embark on this journey. And remember that every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. You have within you untapped reservoirs of strength, resilience, and potential. By embracing the principle of suffer today, smile tomorrow, you're not just working towards specific goals. You're unlocking the best version of yourself. You're building a life of purpose, achievement, and deep satisfaction. So go forth with courage and determination. Embrace the challenges that come your way, knowing that they are the forge in which your future success is created. Choose the path of growth, even when it's difficult. And always keep your eyes on the brighter tomorrow you're creating. Thank you for your attention and participation. May your journey be filled with meaningful struggles, significant growth, and ultimately, a life of fulfillment and joy. Remember, suffer today, smile tomorrow. The choice is yours, and the power is within you. Thank you.